Listen carefully because I am not going to sugarcoat this. We all know that groceries have gotten expensive. You know this to be true, I know this to be true. And because between the two of us we've got a couple brain cells to share, we are going to outsmart the system and save a ton of money on the same cuts of meat that we're eating anyway. In this video, I am going to show you exactly how I break down a whole chicken into individual cuts of meat, which I would be cooking inside of my kitchen anyway, that are going to be much cheaper and honestly probably higher quality, as well as generating tons of additional value products that you would be spending extra money anyway. And the home-cooked versions are just infinitely better than what you can find in stores. Not to mention that the skill of being able to butcher whole animals is super valuable throughout your culinary journey. But yeah, let's jump straight into it. And the first thing we'll talk about before we start cutting is knives. Now, I have quite a few knives laid out in front of me, but don't be intimidated. I'm going to show you the easiest way to do this with the simplest knife that you've got. Now, if you have a boning knife, this would probably be best. It's a little bit bendy, but has like a nice pointy tip. It's very firm, so it's really good for like cutting in and around bones. This is great, but you guys probably don't have that. So we're going to do away with this. You can probably use a big chef's knife. This may be like more reasonable and more like akin to what you've got. And I like to use these in tandem. This is good for cutting around bones. This is good for like portioning and slicing and stuff. We're going to use neither of these. Next, a cleaver is useful but not necessary. We're going to be breaking down the bones because those are super valuable. Do not throw those away. But again, you probably don't have a cleaver, so we're not going to use this. Next, we have a good pair of kitchen shears. Again, these are super valuable for cutting around bones, breaking cartilage. Like, this is really good for like portioning and general butchery in general, but you might have much weaker scissors, so we're doing without these. This bad boy, this is what I'm going to use. This is a small knife. It's like a nice happy middle between these two, and it just gets the job done. It is not the most pointy and detailed at the top, but it's more than enough for demonstration purposes, and it's really good at whittling around the bones, but also slicing and portioning meat. So this is great. The only other thing, so this is great. The only other thing that I would recommend is a sharpening steel. Just like a couple strokes on it will hone the edge of your blades to make it a little bit sharper. But truth be told, you do not need the sharpest knife to break down a chicken. Enough knife talk, let us look at our little setup over here.
For your little butchery setup, make sure that you have everything that you need before you get started. At bare minimum, you're going to need a good sized chopping board and a good knife for the job, as well as a couple of trays to lay out your portioned meat, as well as a container to hold onto all those bones. I like to have a few pieces of kitchen towel close by, as well as an extra sheet that is lightly damp for me to wipe off my knife. Make sure to wash your hands before you start and lay down your chicken onto the chopping board. I did this off camera, but do make sure to wipe down your bird with paper towel. Rule 1 of butchering: clean dry protein, clean dry board. For our first chicken, we're going to break it down into 8 pieces for general consumption. And then for the next bird, I'll go into more detail of some of your favorite cuts. We're going to start by separating the legs from the breasts, making sure to leave plenty of skin covering the breasts, and not to cut into any of the meat. Next, make a long, straight cut in between the 2 chicken breasts. The first slice should reveal the central keel bone. Make another long slice on the other side of the keel bone to free off both breasts. Run your knife carefully from the keel bone to the outside of the bird, using one long stroke at a time. Your breast will be almost freed up, but you can always go in from the other side and make an incision from the other side of the breast to free it up. At this point, you can just gently pull the breast away from the wing and just make a small incision around the wing joint. Repeat this process identically for the other breast. This frees up the wings completely and makes them very easy to remove with one good knife stroke between the joint. Now for the legs. We're going to flip the bird over and you're going to find the ball joints connecting the legs to the backbone. Using both your hands, you are going to attempt to push the legs forward and to pop these joints out of their sockets. Once you've exposed the ball joint of the leg, you can hold the chicken upside down by the leg and carefully cut around all its meat, especially this little tiny piece of meat called the oyster on the back. At this point, you are doing nothing more than following the curvature of the leg. Some butchers will leave the backbone attached to the leg to make it look bigger, but I much prefer to remove it as it makes the legs much easier to eat. Once we've removed the main cuts from the bird, I like to go back and trim off any excess skin from my portions. You can save the skin for amazingly delicious crispy skin chips, or we're gonna make some rendered chicken fat, but that's another video. If you'd like to further break down the legs and separate the drumsticks from the thighs, all you have to do is flip it over and follow the visible separation from the two muscles. There's like a thin white line of fat. All you need to do is cut right next to it and you should find zero resistance. For the wings, you can optionally take off the wingtips, and these make for great additions to your bone pile, which will eventually turn into incredible stock. Separating the wings is also just as simple as separating the leg meat. You just want to find the joint between the two bones and cut straight through it. Now this portioning here is typically how I break down my chicken for regular daily consumption, but here are some more specific cuts with our second bird. For this bird, we are going to separate the crown from the chicken. And for this, I like to remove the legs first, in exactly the same way as before. Next, we are carefully going to rotate the bird, pull up on the breasts, and we're just going to hack away between the spine and the crown of the chicken. Once you've hacked through most of the backbone, you can carefully cut around it to separate the meat or just pull it apart with your hands. The crown, or the collection of the breasts and the keel bone, can be roast or cooked as it is, or you can hack it down the middle and use these for delicious fried chicken portions, where you want a little bit of bone attached. Remember to wipe down your board and your knife occasionally. Once again, clean dry protein, clean dry board. Next, deboning the legs can be super useful to have a nice big piece of leg meat, or to cut down into small pieces for soups and stews. For this, you are going to run the tip of your knife against the two bones of the leg, gently freeing the meat from this bone. Once the bones are fully exposed, you're going to cut underneath it on both sides to remove the bones from the meat. Then carefully remove the joint that joins the two bones and cut around it to remove the bones entirely. At this stage, you could optionally remove the skin from the leg for some boneless, skinless leg and thigh meat, and you can cut this down further for little chunks of stewing meat. Returning to your chicken breast, you can cut these straight through the breasts and straight through the bone to portion nice little fried chicken breast portions. Or if you had another boneless piece of chicken breast, you could very easily remove the skin by carefully peeling it away. Once everything is portioned down beautifully, the only thing left to do is, optionally, chop down the bones a little bit further so that when you make stock, it's just that much easier. Make big, bold cuts with your cleaver and make sure your fingers are nowhere close to the action here. You can freeze these bones to make some amazing stock on another day and reserve the skin for crispy skin chips or delicious chicken fat. And those will both be very super useful videos that I'll make in the future. In total, I spent just under 14 euros on both of the whole chickens and generated well over 30 euros in value from all of the different cuts of chicken, as well as the liters of chicken stock and plenty of chicken fat. If you make the assumption that you consume one chicken per week and you continue this process for a whole year, you could save upwards of $400 minimum for better meat, more interesting cuts, and free-flowing chicken stock and chicken fat. I hope you found some value in this video. If you like it, please go check out this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.